Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. What's the name? Say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name. You acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. Say my name. Other day, I will call. Baby, how's your day? But today, it ain't the same. Every other word is a yeah, okay. Could it be that you are at the crib with another lady? If you took it there, first of all, let me say, I am not the one to sit around and play. So prove yourself to me, if I'm the girl that you claim. Why don't you say the things that you said to me yesterday? I know you say that I was doing things. Something's going down, that's the way it seems. Shouldn't be the reason why you acting strange.
Be like, damn, slow down. I know you see a queen adjusting her crown. She been knocked down, but she never stayed down. She been living life like it's her playground. And they be like, damn, slow down. They can get just.
Hey everyone, good evening, good evening. I hope everyone is having a great what's today, y'all? Today is Thursday. This week is flying by. This week I'm supposed to be on vacation until the 3rd, and it's just not vacationing. It's really not giving vacation. I'm gonna let a few more people come in here. We are talking about a very, very serious, heartbreaking, very real story tonight. Like, I need everyone to come in the chat. Please like the live. And when you are watching this, please share the live out to all of your family and friends, everybody. This story needs to be out there because at this point, there like it has to be some type of I don't even want to say joke because it's not a joke. This like it's just blatant in our face, and this is scary. This story right here scares me as a mother. Period, point blank. And I'm sad that I just found out about this story today. Today. Usually it takes me a lot longer to get information on a story, but this story is not even long. It's not something you had to dig for. It's just not being talked about. So I would like for the same energy that we've been having for the past 2 weeks about someone uh not having to go to jail, this being about race wars, all those black men that wanted to advocate. Now is the time that we need to be advocating for black boys now. So all those people who wanted to advocate for someone else and talk about this, that, and the third, everyone wanted to be lawyers. Come on over here and let's talk about this very real, scary situation. Hey Dovely, hey Anisha, hey you guys for coming in. Like I said, I'm waiting on a few more people to get in the chat before I get started on this story. What is y'all plans for New Year's? What's y'all plans for New Year's? I think for me and my family, we're just gonna have like game night and just, chill at my in-laws' house. Usually a vibe. What was I about to say? I can't even believe it's New Year. I cannot believe it's New Year, but tomorrow I'm gonna put on my community tab if you guys want to watch Hidden Colors 5 tomorrow. So if you guys are free, we're gonna do it tomorrow around probably 5 or 6. Hey CC, hey sweetie. Oh, you're going to church? Yes, my aunt just said that too. She's like, "What are you doing for New Year's?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm saying this, answer." And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna be church." And she gave me that look like you need to be there too. And I just gave her the look back like blink blink. Okay. So yes, but please like the live as you guys come in. I'm just waiting. I'm trying to get 5 minutes on the clock because y'all know how the tube is. Y'all know how the tube is for real, for real. But let me just start off by this. Reading the title, has anyone heard of Sinzae Reed? Sinzae Reed. Has anyone heard of this story? Let me know in the chat if y'all have heard of this story. Like I said, I just heard about this story today. So I want to know if anybody has heard of this story, anybody heard of this name. This story comes straight out of Columbus, Ohio, which does not shock me. Does not shock me. Anisha said she just looked him up today. Sweetie said no, she hasn't. Okay. So, okay, we're 5 minutes in. Okay, so you guys, today we're going to be talking about 13-year-old Sinzae Reed. He is born and raised, or he was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, and his life was taken away from him prematurely on October the 12th, 2022, right outside of his apartment complex. Let me go ahead and put his picture on the screen so you guys can have an idea of who we're talking about. Like I stated, 13 years old. 13 years old. Okay, so like I said, on October 12th this year, he was outside of his apartments. They are called Wedgewood Apartments in the Hilltop, when 36-year-old thug Craig Reed pulled up in a red pickup truck and began to fire his weapon repeatedly at 13-year-old Sinzae Reed. They call him Zay, though. So we're going to call him Zay. So this thug that you have on the screen actually got out of his car in broad daylight around 5:40 in the afternoon or the evening, fired his weapon at Zay repeatedly, got back in his car and drove away. The police arrived or was called around 5:45 that day, where they found Zay in the street. They got him to the hospital, where he was pronounced unalive at 6:26 the same day. After he was unalive, the police had a manhunt to find the thug that is on the screen for over 3 days. The SWAT actually had to arrest this thug and seize him from his home after he fled from a scene where he unalived a 13-year-old child by the name of Zay. Once he was arrested, he was held on a $1 million bond. $1 million bond. Just for him to get out of jail 5 days later with the charges dropped and the bond dropped. Do y'all need me to repeat that? The thug was in jail for only 5 days on a $1 million bond after being hunted down by the SWAT. He was released from jail 5 days later. Charges dropped by the prosecutors of the Franklin County Municipal Court, stating that he did this in self-defense. He did this heinous crime to a 13-year-old child in self-defense. Mind you, the weird thing about this is the fact that the thug the thug was claiming that he unalived Zay in self-defense. The prosecution dropped all charges before an autopsy report was received back, before they even knew how many times this young boy was hit, before they even knew any evidence, before they collected any evidence, before they even finished talking to witnesses, because it was witnesses that stated that this man got out of his car and just started firing, got back in there and sped away, which suggests that this was not anything where he was standing his ground, where it was self-defense. They literally dismissed the charges before anything came back. There was no forensic evidence done to prove or disprove this man's claims, to know where the trajectory of the bullets flew. None of it happened. But they dropped charges. They dropped the charges. This happened October 12th. It is now going into January. And it's approaching 3 months. And Zay's family is still fighting for justice as this man is still walking the streets. Now, mind you, the autopsy report still has not came back. They are so behind that they said that it can take about 6 months for this to be completed. Zay has, of course, had a burial service and has been buried, but they don't have any information about really technically how he passed away, besides the fact that they know it was due to wounds, due to a firearm. The crazy thing about Butler, who the thug Butler, is this man is not supposed to federally have a weapon at all. At all. He was charged with a domestic violence charge back in 2019, which prohibits him from having any firearm weapon on him at all and using any firearm weapon. He actually does not, he wasn't even arrested for even having that on his body. No charges was filed for him having that on him illegally, because he's not supposed to. He's not being charged with unaliving a 13-year-old child. He is actually walking free. And the saddest part of this story is, instead of people showing empathy, instead of people wanting to protect children and even saying, okay, let's trust in the just and fair, mind you, because we want to say that the law is fair and just when it fits us, right? So instead of people saying let's trust in the fair and just system and let's charge him, let's take it to court, they won't do so. They're actually making it seem as if, say, a 13-year-old child was rightfully unalived because he was not your average child. Y'all know what happens when little black boys are unalived or put out on social media or in the news. Y'all know they don't get to be boys. That was a grown man. 13-year-old Zay was a grown man in the news. He was a thug. He was this, he was that. He was uncontrollable. Even though none of this happened on the day that he was unalived. To our knowledge, those two people did not even know each other before the thug, the only thug that we know, the only thug that has a criminal background, this one right here, they don't even know each other. This thug took his life, but Zay was the thug. Zay was the one that was the problem. When only one had a criminal record, only one fled the scene of a crime, only one held a firearm when they were not supposed to. How do you go from $1 million bond to actually no longer having to serve any time? It makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a video of what his mother just posted a couple days ago, because y'all know it was the holidays. And she is still fighting for justice for her son, who was only 13 and was described as a funny, carefree child in his obituary. The obituary actually reads, "A boy who loved music, video games, and spending time with his friends." Sounds like a kid to me. Sounds like a straight up kid to me. One second, let me share my screen. What does it say? Hey, everyone coming into the chat. I'm sorry, I was looking at my other screen. I'm about to share this for you guys. Like I said, this isn't going to be a long live, but I feel like this story is important to talk about and we need to get the word out. So this is his mother's Facebook page. If you guys can see my screen, his mother, Zay's mother's name is Megan Reed. And 23 hours ago, she said, "Today is week 11 for my baby. I wasn't going to post anything because as the weeks go on and my baby still has no justice, my heart continues to break, but I see Sinzae and had other plans and wants to have the whole world hear about his story. I wasn't only thinking about my baby, but everyone is, and just like me, we all want what my baby deserves, and that's justice. Thanks to everyone who shared what's going on. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of the little bit of heart I have left. Together we will get justice for my baby. Forever 13." Like 13 years old. I can't play the song, but I'm going to play the video. So soon? A 13-year-old boy, literally. He was born in 2009. Like that seems so that doesn't even seem real. That someone born in 2009 only got to see 13 years of life due to a thug who gets to walk the streets free. So when we do petitions and we talk about justice and we talk about how um people are wrong and people are done wrong, and don't forget to mention this this young boy. Don't forget to sign his petitions. Don't forget to say his name. Everyone, y'all wanted to put on y'all Sojourner Truths for the past 2 weeks. This type of content gotta go viral. Everybody who has been in attendance to other things and want to talk about what people should do and what they shouldn't do and black this, black that. I want to see everyone talk about this story. Period. Point blank. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It doesn't matter if Zay was the worst child and he was always in detention or he was always suspended from school. At 13 years old, you telling me you deserve to lose your life in broad daylight. In broad daylight. And the person that did this to you claimed self-defense but left the scene of a crime, had to get arrested by SWAT, had $1 million bond, and he's not even being held accountable for at least having the weapon? If this does not outrage you and make you scared for the youth, our youth, I don't know what is. I truly don't. As a mother of two, this right here scares me because it makes no sense. I don't know anyone who had to get tracked down by the SWAT team and seized out of their home who get to walk free off of that. That just, it makes no sense. And if we don't try to get justice, if we don't talk about these situations, it's just going to continue to happen and happen. Trayvon Martin was killed how many years ago? For walking. Shot in the back. And here we have, years later, someone who gets out of their truck in broad daylight and has so much power and authority that they literally shoot you and drive off. No scared, no, this thug was not even scared, like a true thug, like the true thug that he is. This man wasn't even scared of the repercussions. He wasn't even scared. And he knew all he had to do was say he was claiming self-defense before any autopsies came back, before any forensics came back. They dismissed the charges. How y'all put a bond of $1 million on somebody and just let that go free? Tamir Rice, exactly, Anisha. It makes no earthly sense. It makes no sense. And mind you, other states, other legislators, other people are definitely talking about this. Everyone. But Columbus, Ohio, trust me, the state of Ohio is very, very racist. Let's be very clear. Nothing good said about it. Can't say nothing good about that state. It's notorious for things like this. They don't care. They do not care. The governor, Mike DeWine, does not care. He's not doing anything to get justice for this little boy that was unalived October 12th. It's the disrespect and the lack of care for melanated people is so blatant. They didn't even try to do an investigation for this little boy. They didn't even try. Sometimes they fake it. Oh yes, we're investigating. You know, they hold off families and say, we're investigating, we're looking into this, we're investigating. They didn't even try that. They did not care. They did not care. They didn't care. As if this little boy's life did not matter, whether he had detention, whether he was rambunctious or not. At 13 years old, they found no value in his life. Justice doesn't matter for him or his family. Makes no sense. So when we talk about signing petitions, call the governor's office. Raise hell. That's what we want. That's what we want. It's not no, oh, we're nuh-uh. If y'all want to really make change, Mike DeWine, nah, he ain't gonna have a good day. He needs to be called. I don't know if his mother actually has a petition. I could not find one for Sinzae Reed, but seeing that the story just really got traction within the past, 2 to 3 days, I'm pretty sure one's gonna come. But we have to make sure that we do our part. All he had to do was do 5 days. 5 days. The man that was on probation, the thug that was on probation, got to walk away scot-free. Look at him, y'all. He's scary. This is a real deal, true life thug. If he walked past my car, I am locking my doors and I might even call the police because he's scary. He gets to walk free. He's not even being held accountable for having a firearm. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. So there is actually going to be a press conference on Sunday. And I will actually stream it live. It's going to be Sunday at the actual apartments that Zay was gunned down at on Sunday at 2 p.m. I believe they work on Eastern Standard Time. So 2 p.m. and I will actually be live streaming it where we're actually going to hear what they have to say. It's a community press conference. So this is the community and we want to know what exactly the plans are. It's going to be hosted by a host of people in the community that want to see some change or that's going to give us some insight on what exactly we, the people, can do to get some type of justice for him. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. So, like I told you guys, this was not going to be a long live because there's not a lot of information. But I just wanted to let y'all know we making noise. I don't want to hear, oh, we don't know what to do. I'm going to make sure I tell y'all exactly what we, the people, can do, how we can exercise our rights and get justice for someone that did not deserve this. Period, point blank. You can't tell me no 13-year-old boy deserved that in broad daylight in front of everybody. And all you could say was self-defense. There was no story about what happened. To our knowledge, y'all did not even know each other. So what was you defending? And if you was defending, why was no calls made to the police? Why would you flee the scene and then be found 3 days later after refusing to leave your home by the SWAT? Makes no sense. It's sick. It's hurtful. And yeah, please, like I said, share this live, talk to your family and friends. If y'all know anybody in Columbus, Ohio, see what they think about it. And I will see y'all in the next video.
And thank you. Oh yeah, thank you, Ms. Marcel. Yo, all props to you. And just you be doing what you doing. And you got a voice. Keep doing what you're doing. And you got a voice.